Welcome back to our pregame show. The Oskaloosa Indians boys tonight as they are playing in Centerville. Coach Ryan Parker joins me now, and the Indians coming off a comfortable win in Grinnell Friday night that got your conference season off to a win.
Yeah, I mean, I thought we played really well for about three and a half quarters. Got a little lackadaisical in the end of the fourth quarter, but overall, I think we're continuing to get better. We're throwing some guys to the fire and trying to make them learn on the fly, as they say, and they're doing a pretty good job at it.
One thing that happened early on that could have had an impact on the game was Xavier Foster getting into some foul trouble early on, and we talked about this after the game. You kind of saw it as maybe a blessing in disguise.
Yeah, it showed our guys a little bit that we can play without Xavier. I thought we played extremely well in the first half without Xavier. He probably played 4 or 5 minutes maybe. And we were able to withstand that against a quality opponent. Had some guys come in off the bench and give us quality minutes. And then when Zay did come in the second half, I think he took his anger out on the rim.
Yeah, it was an 11-point lead for the Indians at halftime, and then when Xavier came back in the game in the second half, 15 points, 10 rebounds, four blocks.
Yeah, like I said, he was a little frustrated. I let him play for a little bit after he got his second foul early on, and then we got a lead, and I looked at him on the bench and said, you know what, we're not going to go back with you until after halftime. If it had been a lot closer or we'd been down, I think we had rolled the dice a little bit, but we didn't have to at the time. And I think he was frustrated, by not playing. But then at the end, he put up a really good second half.
He sure did. And Cole Henry put up another strong game too, with 19 points, 13 rebounds, and also 5 assists.
Yeah, he had all really complete game there. Turned the ball over a little bit more than I'd like to late in the game, and we talked about that after the game. But Cole was really our guy that night and took over when Xavier got in foul trouble. And you know what? Cole's going to be that leader for us all season long. And that's just sort of the role he plays. He can play inside out, and he's gotten so much better over the last year to 2 years. And we can trust him with the ball in his hands, and because he handles it extremely well. He really carried us in that first half.
And after the game, Cole had talked to me about something he wants to work on is his passing. What have you seen the improvement there so far?
Well, he's a really good passer last year, so there's not a ton of improvement. You just got to be a little bit more confident with him. He was throwing a couple against the back wall on Friday night, and I think that's probably what he's talking about. Wanting to clean up some areas that he had 5 assists, but he probably could have ended up with the triple-double if he wouldn't have thrown a couple of those off the back wall. So overall, I thought he put together a complete game. He's played 62 minutes of the 64 combined in the 2 games, and Ryan Yates has played all 64 minutes. So those 2 guys have really played a ton of minutes, and it was good for them to have the weekend off.
What were some other things that you got out of the game with Grinnell on Friday?
Our secondary guys, our guys that don't get the headlines really stepped up and played some good minutes. Jackson Blythe didn't play in the first game, came in and gave us a spark and scored 4 points for us off the bench. Austin Hafner didn't play in the first game, came in and played some quality minutes. We got some guys in the game, and then our guys that, got to play on Tuesday night versus Fairfield also had good minutes. Noah Van Veldhuizen had 9 points. Which is a career high for him, just as his first year really as a varsity player. And so we've got guys stepping up all over the place, and we're not just that 2-headed monster everybody thinks we are.
Now Centerville, the opposition tonight on the road, they're a team 1-1 if I remember correctly. What do you know about them?
They graduated a lot from last year's team, so I watched a little bit of that film from last year. I've got 2 films on them right now. We've watched that, and we put the scouting report in for them. Really guard heavy. Like to put their heads down and get to the rim. Tallest guy on the floor is going to be 6'1", 6'2", so we'll have a massive height advantage like we do every night. We just got to really play and do what we do. We can't deviate from the things that are going to make us successful. And if we do those things, we'll be successful a lot of nights.
All right. Best of luck.
Thank you.
That's Ryan Parker, coach of the Oskaloosa Indians boys basketball team. We'll come back for the starting lineups as the Indians play at Centerville. We'll be back in 2 minutes on KBOE FM and the No Coast Network.